involves being honest, though. Are you not concerned that he lied about what he did?
Did he? He wasn't vetted. He wasn't vetted. James McMurdoch was one of those many candidates who wasn't vetted at all by the party. Look, I didn't know any of this when I took back over as leader.
So you said you're going to put in place the most vigorous vetting system in place now. Do you think James McMurdoch would not go through this new vetting system?
You can have your fun at Sky News. We've got 100,000 members. I've got 1 million followers on TikTok. Dame Andrea Jenkins has just joined us. She's our candidate for Greater Lincolnshire. You've had your fun. I'm off for lunch. Thank you.
Good evening, my Friday Frolickers. You see, Sir Keir Starmer, that's how you do it. You don't bother trying to style it out with stock answers. You just throw an absolute strop. Then you talk about your millions of cultists and then your 100,000 subs or whatever. And then even though from what I've heard, the only members they do have are our little Toad of Turd Hall and our little Dick Ties. But never mind. But so you see Sir Keir and John Swain and quite possibly even Jeremy Corbyn, even on the left, you know, if you do that, that's what you need to do. You can imagine if they had done that, the right-wing press would have gone up in arms, wouldn't they? But anyway, welcome to my Friday Frolic, where we venture into possibly last week of the ridiculousness of politics, where we don't take those who believe they should be taken seriously, and we just take the rise out of them. Anyway, let's have a little look at who's in the audience, my friends. And good evening, Scott, my dear friend. I hope you are very, very well. And Billy Kershaw, my running mate. Yes, we are doing very well. We're doing the do's. Yes, the Department of Government Efficiency do's, whatever that means. I'll leave it to my First Lady, Elon. Anyway, good evening to one of my moderators, Alistair Kerr, one of my fantastic moderators, and Ted Boy, hope you're well, my friend, and Stephen Bank here, another one of my Friday Frolickers, I hope you're well, my friend, and who else? Oh, my lovely daughter, yes, God's last sis. Good evening, my lovely daughter, hope you've had a fantastic day today. And another one of my fantastic moderators who keep the chat, you know, respectable and make sure nobody's being disrespectful. Couldn't ask for any better moderators than Mad Monk and Alistair and Jow. And so big thumbs up for my three fantastic moderators. Hope you're well, Mad Monk. Hope you're very, very well. And anybody else? Master Assassin, I do hope you're very, very well. And welcome to my Friday Frolic. And if you see me moving about, I've got my dodgy foot in 2 hot water bottles because it's absolutely freezing. feels like I've got a lead slipper on. But anyway, never mind. Yes, that's what you need to do. Act like a petulant child, you know. Throw a wobbler and then run away and don't take account for anything. That's the reform way. Also, have I missed anybody? Did I miss somebody? I'm just get the feeling I did. Did I miss somebody? Did. Is there a John Sprott in the audience? If there is, good evening. Good evening, I hope you're very, very well. But anyway, let's get ourselves all organised as we head to what we call our little bit of fun and games. See, because this was the thing, really, because let's be honest here.
You know how right-wingers claim that they're all...
Yeah, you jumped in too soon for me. But anyway, see, good evening, Yama Yama Ref. Good evening. That's a cracking name. I hope you're well. And welcome to my Friday Frolic. But see, the thing is, for me, this is where the Labour Party are going wrong. You know, that horrendous, outrageous scandal with Louise Haigh, you know, disgraceful behaviour. What he should have done was just do what Nigel Farage did, you know, because it's far more serious than nearly enough, you know, kicking 10 bells out of your girlfriend and going to prison for it. No, you just throw a strop and say, I'm off for lunch, and you've had your fun. But the thing is, as our fantastic Femi points out, he just highlights it brilliantly, the problem with this nonsense.
You know how right-wingers claim that they're all about law and order, but one of their MPs, one of their members of parliament, is a convicted woman beater, somebody who repeatedly kicked his girlfriend when they were 20 years old. He wasn't a kid, he was a 20-year-old man. How many of you did that to a spouse or a partner when you were that age? That is who Nigel Farage and the Reform Party decided should be in charge of writing our laws. And I don't know whether Nigel Farage is actually going to address this, but if he does, let's get ahead of it right now. If they come out and try and say that this new revelation about him kicking his girlfriend is some just big surprise that they had no idea about, they've known it since the election. The only difference is what kind of assault they told the media it was. But they still knew it was enough to get the guy jailed. And if you are a man capable of doing that to a woman, you are a piece of shit. And yet Nigel Farage, Richard Tice, the Reform Party, they thought that that guy should play a role in running our country. So the Reform Party, and anybody who supports them, literal pond scum.
Absolutely spot on, isn't it? Totally agree. And thing is, what did Nigel actually know? Like as he said there, he said he wasn't properly vetted, as if that's all right. And what did he actually tell him? Who knows? But what we do know is that Farage is clearly not going to do anything about this situation, which speaks volumes, doesn't it? But after this fantastic video made by Femi, which, let's be honest, he is spot on, isn't he? He made another one where he's basically talking about these people who are defending him, and more importantly, about what sex they are. And it's very illuminating.
Right now, my comments on Twitter and a few on here are filled with men defending the Reform MP despite what he did to his girlfriend, saying that we all make mistakes. It was 20 years ago. There has to be forgiveness. We need to allow people to rehabilitate themselves. And it reminds me of a debate that I had about the statue of Edward Colston, whether or not it should be removed. And obviously it was against a right-winger who was saying that it's a part of our history. We should allow these monuments to be in our high streets, etc. And so I made the simple point, referencing the famous Diddy file, Jimmy Savile.
Would you have a statue of Jimmy Savile up in a public space? Yes or no?
Well, I mean, that's an abstract question because there isn't a statue of Jimmy Savile.
Would you? It's a good question. Would you?
I mean,
would you think that'd be okay?
Put one up, but I mean,
would you think it'd be okay? If one was up outside your house in your high street, would you be okay with that statue being there? A statue of Jimmy Savile?
Well, I think that this is, I mean, we're not talking about somebody like Jimmy Savile.
Sorry, Edward Colston murdered thousands of black people. He's kind of a bad guy. Fundamental difference is, you could probably go for a drink with Edward Colston and he wouldn't harm you. If I were to go for a drink with Edward Colston, he'd put me on a boat. That's the difference.
So just like how she, as a white person, would never be the victim of someone like Edward Colston, who unalived tens of thousands of black people, but she could have been a victim of someone like Jimmy Savile, men will never be the victims of people like James McMurdoch, the Reform MP. And so the idea of having somebody like that in charge of writing our laws isn't as directly scary and threatening to men as it is to women, and so some men feel more comfortable giving him a second chance. Let's be clear, he's using his second chance to team up with Nigel Farage, so it's not like he's gone that far from where he used to be. And don't get me wrong, I'm cool with the idea of the rehabilitation of violent criminals who've committed hate crimes, of which he is one. I just don't like the idea of being governed by them.
I'm in total agreement as well. You're spot on. Yeah, what a surprise. It's men mainly who are defending this. Is the statue example a good one? I don't know. That's up to you guys to decide. But watching that example, for me, it did highlight that when it comes to uncomfortable questions, those who defend things like this. They do tend to run away from it or have a go at those who are making the point, don't they? Like this person who what I did was I sort of like reposted the video because I just thought he was spot on. And let's just say this is my favourite one because let's just say it just highlights the nonsense that this person was saying. No, it's not spot on. His conviction is deemed spent under the Act. He's no longer a criminal. This is just a poisonous vendetta. Yeah, victim blaming. Now, you may have noticed on the chat. Now, I thought, should I ask, are you happy with the fact that somebody here isn't telling the truth? Either he's lied or he didn't and told Nigel the truth, and Nigel just doesn't give a shit. Either way, it's not a good look for a party that seems to cry out about women attacked by people, you know, the sort of people that suits their narrative and their political where they want to go. But what's the point for me? Because it does sound like he's proper down the rabbit hole anyway. Now, rightly or wrongly, I replied with my normal juvenile sense of humour. Oh, sweetheart, you sound incredibly woke. Bless. Yeah, I know it sounds immature, but I just can't resist, really. See, the thing is, for me, he's missing the point, isn't he? Clearly, he lied about making light of what he did to this woman and what he did tell his party and what he was basically saying that it was wholly overblown. That's as we saw, clearly, Nigel Farage doesn't really care, does he? And this clown is far down the rabbit hole, just like this complete idiot. And let's be honest, as far as I remember, her name is called Samantha, and let's just say she makes a complete idiot of herself. This is a brilliant. Now, this is, yes, because like this young lady types in, replies with, we have an actual Labour MP caught on camera attacking someone. Have you mentioned that? But our Samantha's so-called zinger had a tiny flaw, though. As a brilliant Femi, I think it's fantastic, beautifully explained when he said, do you see how you're pointing to an MP who the Labour Party fired before any conviction in defence for an MP who the Reform Party hired after his conviction and still support him? This is why your false equivalence doesn't work. I suppose you cannot help stupid, can you? And like you see with his interview at the start, you could tell he got rather upset about it, didn't he? But yes, let's see what we have to say. That was the norm for me as a boy growing up in Glasgow. Never against girls. This MP should resign. Totally agree, John Spratt. And Femi, call it every one of them. And I appreciate that. Yeah, it does. Did Fartage not try to blame a company for not vetting them? Yes, he did, didn't he? Yes. In other words, he thinks, well, that just shows you how lazy he is, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, Billy Kershaw. Yeah, go Femi. He's brilliant, isn't he? Yes. And he's very good at taking the stage. Yeah, totally agree. Nick Wilson, good evening, my friend. Hope you're well and welcome to my Friday Frolic. And I hope you're well and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope everybody here has a fantastic weekend. And Good evening, Joe Lefty. Good evening, Frolickers. Yes, good evening to all my Frolickers. Hope you're well, my friend. But he's absolutely... I watched the Sky Farage interview. Farage seemingly proud at not vetting candidates. Yeah, unbelievable, Nick Wilson. Yeah, spot on, yeah. Can you imagine if, say, Keir Starmer had acted that way? Or, as it's John Swain, isn't it, the SNP leader? Or anybody else whose political beliefs are probably, as they would class on the left, acted that way, they would be at 'em, go at 'em, straight at 'em, won't they? And if you imagine what it'd be like in the press. Unbelievable. Should stand for this person. If I got £1 for every time my dad kicked me up the bum, I would be paying insurance tax now. Oh, yes. Yes. Good evening, Ben Shaw. Hope you're well. Hope you're very well and hope you've had a lovely day. But yeah, this is what you're up against. And what I find funny... Good evening, Cthulhu. I hope you're well, and welcome to my Friday frolic. I hope you're really, really well. And is it good morning, good evening over in Canada for you, my friend? Yeah, we have an actual MP. You don't even realise that. This is just there's no what you call it. She has no argument whatsoever. She just made herself look a complete and utter idiot, didn't she? But anyway, let's now on to something a little different. Speaking of another nasty piece of work, for me, I love how channels try to normalise people who are utterly vile individuals, like, let's just say, this waste of oxygen. Well, it's a waste of oxygen for me. And is oh, gone. Oh, it's all gone to pot. Yes, it's all gone to pot. The first trailer of Meet the Rees-Moggs, the new reality show following Jacob Rees-Mogg and his family, has been released by Disney+. Unbelievable.
I can sort of see you. Yeah. It's slightly like Big Brother is watching you. I'm Jacob Rees-Mogg. I've been involved in some political controversy. I'm afraid, and this is probably a sin, I quite enjoy winding people up.
I hope I don't get a cease and desist letter from Johnny Bowden. Could you please not wear my clothes? You awful Tory right-wing fox-hunting Brexiteer.
Would you consider you and your family to be posh?
We have quite posh accents, so yeah, us being real, we're quite posh, yeah.
11 cabinet ministers are facing losing their seats.
Nice to see you.
I will be over the moon if Rees-Mogg is gone.
Thank you so much. Extraordinary things can happen, and one should never give up until the last minute.
Worse result at a general election than John Major's defeat in 1997.
I'm not a dog, I don't lick my wounds. Life goes on. What's next should always be the question.
In Somerset, we have a mansion.
Sean does everything that needs to be done in a busy household.
I'm going out to get some graffiti.
He's nicer than what I thought he would be. He does like his boxers being ironed.
That's what you pay your wages for, isn't it?
I'm just lazy, that's all.
Was it love at first sight?
No. Also, I didn't tell him that.
How would you describe your dad?
Funny. He's very unfunny.
Oh, my goodness. The wrong way. I'm well aware that there are risks in reality TV.
Let's go to Disney!
I don't want to go to Disneyland at all. I think this would be a rather different kettle of fish, actually, from the Kardashians.
Yes. Unbelievable. See, the thing is, what I find annoying is they're trying to normalise this man and his family who were born on third base, you could say, will always fall upwards, when they fuck up. As he's, somebody who's misunderstood and a little eccentric. And let's be honest here, he's a nasty little piece of work, isn't he? Who views people like me and your good selves as mere plebs, peasants, thick as mince, and should always bow and kiss his superior ring. No, not that kind of ring. I'm not talking about his jacksy, but it won't surprise me if he'd want you to do that in the first place. Also, I think stop trying to treat fox hunting as something that we all get up to as well. Also, he lives in a mansion also, and I found it weird that he's now watching right-wing propaganda on a seat in a room as if he's living in a one-bedroom flat. What's all that about? This is a man who lounged about in the House of Commons, like he owned the place. Sits like he's living, it's in a one-bedroom bed sit, and only one chair he's got. It's all odd, isn't it? Maybe I speak out of turn here, but I get the feeling that they're trying to make it as well as that the kids are just like ours and mine, when clearly they're not. They have far more opportunities that we will have ever had, and our kids will ever will they? And for me, don't be surprised if they turn out to be just as nasty as he is as well when they get older, because the old saying goes, isn't it? The apple very, very rarely falls too far from the tree. You know what I mean? But let's be honest. But what do you guys think? I remember when the Osbournes came out, I watched it for a little bit. Meh. Oh no, the Meet the Moggy, yeah. Yes. Oh dear. I'm getting the book. Yes. Yikes. This is a TV show. Yeah. You won't believe it. He basically just trying to normalise him. I reckon needed his nanny to help guide his old chap in. Yeah. Nick Wilson. Oh dear. Oh dear. Rehabilitation show plus dollars. Spot on, Cthulhu. Yeah. Make it. It's like, let's be honest, this is a man who clearly lied to the Queen, didn't he? And he continues to lie. He was there on what you call it, Question Time last night, wasn't he, if I remember rightly, trying to, the ONS figures were totally wrong, Good evening, Julie Brown. I hope you're very, very well. Hope you're well and welcome to my Friday Frolic. Yes, don't sit on the fence, my daughter. I'd rather kiss a trash can, to be honest. Tell us what you really think. Will his wet nurse be in the show? I don't know. You'd love to see him on Universal Credit. I don't think so. Poisoned lead pencil with a strange connection to his nanny. Just saying. Yeah, that's all it is. And they're just trying to... I don't know about you, but I'm going to go out on a limb here, everybody in the chat. I have a funny feeling. I don't know what's stirring within me, but none of you have a nanny. I could be wrong. Just saying. And they're not like me and you. They're just basically just... He's just a nasty piece of work, yeah. Absolutely, Alistair. Yeah, Moggy got the taxpayer to pay for the renovation of that country palace, didn't he? Just absolutely spot on. And I just find it really, really now and gnaws at me. But anyway, as I say, for me, one of the best institutions is that I've always enjoyed on the BBC. I've not watched BBC off a lot. Well, I don't watch it at all, really. I don't watch TV. But what I used to do was I would watch Have I Got News For You? And if I'm honest, I used to have it on a video. You remember the early years when you had the original presenter and from the start, and it was all really, I was enjoyed. I might have got rid of it, but for me, if you get an invite for a guest slot on Have I Got News For You, you've made it big, and all the thing is for me. There's only 2 chances of me ever making it to Have I Got News For You, and they're either incredibly slim to none. But in this point, they go on about, it's a little bit about the farmers protest, and what I found out was very, very interesting, especially about our Mr. Farage. And it's very, very interesting. One of the reasons why he's there.
And the focus of the protest is inheritance tax. Farmers didn't pay it at all. And now they're going to pay half of what everyone else pays. And the limits they've set on them are really pretty high. So it's meant to stop wealthy landowners buying lots of land in order to avoid taxes. And say people like, now who comes to mind? Jeremy Clarkson, who originally bought his farm in order to avoid paying any tax on it, has now become the champion of the small farmer who's probably not going to get hit by this and is going to end up worse off for lots of other reasons. It's a bit like if there was a big shepherdesses protest and Marie Antoinette turned up.
What sort of drugs are you on? And share them out.
It's mostly ketamine, but...
Do you want to see Jeremy Clarkson talk?
No, thank you.
Well, you're gonna. Whether you like it or not.
You make it sound like an option.
It's not an option.
Okay.
Here is Jeremy Clarkson talking to the BBC. Now, don't be distracted by the wee fella in the background. So why are you here, Mr. Clarkson?
Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
Right. So it's not about you. It's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Classic BBC, that. Classic. Oh, yeah. It's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it.
Oh, I love it. Is that Victoria Derbyshire? Victoria Derbyshire, she keeps receipts.
She does.
Does.
I mean, it's not as though he's got, you know, any history with the Beeb. I mean, she's quite lucky he didn't punch her in the face for turning up with cold food.
Your face there, Matt, is sort of encapsulating the mood of everybody.
Well, I was just wondering when it was all going to be over.
Although it does look like you've attached an umbrella to the top of your head.
He does, doesn't he? Paul's got a point. He does look like he's got an umbrella sticking out of his head. Don't worry, I'm not going to dwell on the farmers' protest, but I do get the feeling the likes of, you know, tax dodging Jeremy Clarkson and Andrew Lloyd Webber, as well as the £3 million landowner Nigel Farage as your spokesperson of your gripes doesn't help. Now, unfortunately, they are going to be centred on them, but I think they were more of a hindrance than a help for the farmers. And the thing is, I don't know whether there's any truth in this now, but maybe you guys might have heard more about this. But I've heard a couple of people who said that they were travelling on trains heading down to London in first class. So clearly not on the downers. Now, whether there's any truth to these claims, I don't know. But I get the feeling that the protests, judging from what I heard on Question Time last week, didn't have the desired effect. Come on, Daz, get your teeth in. but these clips, for all I know, they could have been more supporters there, but didn't get clipped up. Who knows? Though I did see an article saying that Labour did get a bit of a bump in the polls. Now, you can take polls with a pinch of salt, don't you? So, but it was all very interesting. But in this next clip, let's watch this guy's ingenious idea of a bit of a light relief of how world leaders should get together, sort out their differences, and make sure that no war or destruction happens and nobody needs to get hurt or even worse. And I think this is a genius. Why don't we have a balloon fight, a water balloon fight on the beach? Get them all on the beach, bask in the sun, and I'll have a water balloon fight in front of them and let them go at it hammer and tongs until they're laughing like innocent little children again. And if they run out of water balloons, just fill their buckets up again and let them go at it again until they are laughing like fun little loving children again and saying, what are we supposed to be fighting about? I don't know. Who cares? Let's have another water balloon fight and stop this nonsense. I know it's just a pipe dream, but as John Lennon once said, imagine there's no countries, it's not a hard to do, nothing to kill or die for, no religion too. Imagine if. Also, if you want to go even simpler, as the Beatles once said, all you need is love. Yes, just give them a balloon fight and watch them go at it. Yes, I know I'm a dreamer, but anyway. Yes, enjoy watching Have I Got News for Brow. Wait for the longer and unedited version. Oh, yes. I tend to do it all. Even though I've not watched it for a good long while. Because usually I'm doing whatever I'm doing for my channel or whatever. If I knew how to have fun, Billy Show. He was great for raising spirits. Charles Dexter, what, yes. Lorraine has shown her lefty credentials on the last leg. I haven't seen it, Stephen Binney, but I hope you're well. Hope you're well, and welcome to our Friday Frolickers. As I think this is how it should all be done. And good evening, John O'Sullivan, and welcome to my Friday Frolic. Running away from interviews like Farage yesterday with Sky Global Citizen. I've already showed that. Yes. Like as I said at the start, I said, that's how people like Keir Starmer and John Sweeney and anybody who's on the left should do it. Throw a strop, get all petulant, and then talk about I have over a million cultist fans and 100,000 subscribers or members or whatever. Looks fun, and I'm not gonna done it just. Yes, Solid DB, even Star Trek predicts a nuclear World War III before we get our shit together. Yeah, you're probably right, Master Assassin. Yeah. Just don't store them buckets in the freezer. Oh, yeah, you're probably right, Stephen Bank. Yeah, that's a good dream to have. Yeah, ain't it just? We store snowballs in the freezer for summer fun. Nice one. Nice one. He said, I am the Eggman. I am the Walrus. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Yes, exactly, Stephen Bank here. Yes, Cthulhu, very, very naughty. Very naughty indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Great idea, though. Now this is I tend not to go away to this sort of subject because, if I'm honest, I think there are better people, because I feel rightly or wrongly there's far better educated people who are much better qualified than me to talk about this. But as time has gone by, this is my personal opinion as somebody who's looking in. The behaviour of the Israeli government has clearly been nothing short of vile and has done far more damage to the people who live in Israel than the likes of Hamas and is it Hezbollah, if I remember rightly, can only dream about. And as we saw last week, the ICC, as you know, sent out arrest warrants for a number of people, and one of them was for Benjamin Netanyahu. Well, I'm not too sure whether if he headed over to England, we would arrest him. But Tory MP Kevin Hollinrake seems to think that we should do what the ICC wants us to do, only if we agree with it.
I think Israel needs to do more to prevent the loss of life. But it's a wrong thing for the ICC to put those to draw that equivalence between those two different parties. So no, I think it's wrong.
But the ICC has been very explicit and very clear that they believe, and it is after all an international body to which we are a signatory and presumably to which we owe some respect. They have said very explicitly that Israel has used, or the allegation is that Israel has used starvation and other humanitarian means of war in a way that is entirely improper and unlawful. And therefore, those arrest warrants have been issued. So what are we supposed to do? I mean, I seem to recall that when the ICC issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin, your government hailed that decision.
Well,
what's the difference?
The difference here is we don't believe the ICC has jurisdiction.
We only trust a law. We only trust a court when we agree with their judgment.
That's not what I said at all. I was going to explain Israel are not a signatory to the ICC, to the Rome Statute, and Palestine is not a recognised state. This is not. We don't believe the ICC has jurisdiction, and that's one of the reasons that we should believe Keir Starmer should stand up against this ruling and should not say he would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he came to the UK.
Yes. See, the thing is, did you hear the noise when he talked about the tactics that the Israeli government have used? Like you've used starvation and humanitarian means of war. When these arrest warrants have been issued, to me, the noise he made just spoke volumes for me. And of course, the Israeli government needs to do more. Bollocks basically means, for me, yes, we should show fake concern for the Palestinian people, but we shouldn't arrest those who are causing the death and misery in Palestine. Also that, well, Palestine isn't a state line as to be the lamest excuse I've heard so far to basically say the reason why we won't arrest the person killing you is because you are worthless. What a pathetic cretin he is, isn't it? I was just sat there stunned when I heard this. And this guy is supposed to be one of the moderate Tory MPs, isn't he? So moderate my backside. Yes. Hold on a minute. Good evening, my good friend Reagan Elite. Welcome to my Friday frolic. One of the professionals here who knows what he speaks and what he does. And if you're not subscribed to his channel, make sure you do, because you're missing out on a treat and you'll always learn something. I'm the Nick Abbott of live streams. I just make an idiot of myself. Imagine getting that through the post. Yes. Yes. Good evening, wake up and smell the rosemaries. Don't worry about it. Late to the party tonight. Forget about it, my friend. I'm just glad to see you here, and I hope you've had a lovely day, and I hope you had a fantastic. Well, hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend too, and welcome to my Friday frolic. Yes, stop beating yourself up. We learn so much through comedy, and you do it. You do it well. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. That'll make my weekend. Thank you, my friend Stephen Bankier. Gentleman and a scholar. If I had a pound, I'd give you $1, my friend. I'm only kidding. You're a legend, my friend. Yes. Good evening, Mark T. Hope you're well, and hope you have had a lovely day, or you're going to have a lovely day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend as well. But let's just say, like as he said, you seem quite keen to agree with the ICC when they put arrest warrants for Vladimir Putin. So what's the difference here? And the absolute ridiculousness that he comes up with, I just thought it was quite insulting. Yeah, absolutely, Billy Kershaw, unreal. Don't worry about Billy Kershaw. I'm having a lager. I'll be having a couple of cheeky beers later on, so I'll be joining you, my friend, later on. But anyway, don't worry about it. Please hit the like. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that, my one of my fantastic moderators. Yeah, hit the like button and all that good stuff. Or as Nate Black would say, boop the like button and all that stuff. I'm a terrible shill. But I just watched that interview, I just thought, what an utter car crash. Made a complete, absolute trolley of himself. Also, speaking of another pathetic cretin. Let me get myself all organised. This is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious, because speaking of another pathetic cretin, Mad Nad was still doing the rounds, still trying to flog a book. Downfall, is it? Whatever. No doubt I'll probably borrow it from that library called the Internet somewhere, you know. You don't honestly think I'm going to give this cretin any money? No chance to read her drivel when I can just get it from a reliable, dodgy website. Well, anyway, Kristen Guru Murphy asked her the question that if he'd have asked either me or you, well, we would have obviously just said yes, but when asking our Mad Nad the same question about the love of her life, no, I don't mean a husband, Spaffer Johnson, she has a very different answer. And look at her face when she's asked. It's absolute joy to behold.
Do you think Boris Johnson ever had sex in a work environment?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, actually, no, I don't.
Look at that face. That's a face of envy. A face shouting, oh, if only. Oh, it's not as if I tried to lead him astray. One day, christening, I even wore a garter and did a Sharon Stone in his office and went full commando as well. Oh, sorry, I give you that image, but that image came into my face. If I have to see it, I'm going to have to share it. And well, demanded that the big husky peeled the garter off with his teeth. And I even had the whipped cream at the ready as well. It'd be more than a custard cream if I'd have had my wicked way with a blonde blancmange. Sorry about that, but I just couldn't resist. Jesus Christ.
I don't. Because I think the one thing that you would not admit, but you know, and I know, is that what he does outside of work, I don't, you know.
Yes. Sorry, but in there, what he does outside of work. That look for me is code for, what's that floozy he's running around with got that I haven't? I'm beautiful, incredibly witty and intelligent, obviously, because In his government, you didn't become culture secretary if you're thick as mince, you know. Oh, Bodger, if only you peeled off that garter with your tongue and teeth, I would make you king of the world, and you would have made me your dame. Together we would rule the land and bonked in number 10 forever. Can you imagine? Not a pretty sight, would it?
But you and I both know he's quite shy, and he's not a small talker, and he's quite socially awkward in there. So no, I don't see him as being somebody doing that in a workplace. No.
Right. That's interesting. But
yes. Let's be honest. When he said that's interesting, I don't know about you, but for me that means that's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life, man, Nad. That's not the half of it. Wait till you hear the load of the next stuff she says. It's absolutely hilarious. And I do wonder who she's talking about. Hold on to your hats, my friend. You're in for a treat.
But I mean, so why? So why does that sort of really get you though? In a way that's,
I think it's
the other behaviour. It does. Hasn't pushed you over the edge.
No, all of it does.
You know,
it does.
This is like the last straw, isn't it?
No, come on, it's one small chapter in a 100,000 words. So I know a lot's been made about it and made of it. But when I'm sent photographs
when I said
when I'm sent photographs on a 30-second timer from somebody, from a staff member, that shows an MP stood in an office naked with an erection in his hand, with another MP lounging back on the green sofa behind him, with the London Eye going round in the background through the window. It was pretty shocking.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking.
Unbelievable. Yes, I would imagine she'd be shocked. They could have put the blinds down, couldn't they? You know, those in the London Eye would have got an eyeful, wouldn't they? They'd have certainly got more than they'd have bargained for. Also, we've no idea who was defying gravity next to the London Eye, but the one thing is for sure, it wasn't our spaffer, was it? Because she would have been shocked. Well, she wouldn't have been shocked if he would have been staring down the barrel of a camera saying, "Come to me, mad Nad." She'd have been down there with the garter, the whipped cream and the prostate massager, wouldn't she? But the thing is, on a serious note, even though she's crank and a waste of space, and how long did she spend defending the indefensible? Lied on a number of occasions, didn't she? Let's be honest. As nasty piece of work that she is, was wholly unfit for any position of power. Sending stuff like that to people, especially women, is out of order. And even if they chow down on her kangaroo balls and they're mad, but then she says something that even shocks me. Yes, you'll be surprised what she says next.
Even for a former nurse.
Yeah, and I did say, I'm a woman of the world, I'm a former nurse, this isn't going to shock me. It did.
Right, so you're a woman who's got to the top of British politics, looked in and gone, oh my God, it's utterly rotten.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah, I have, yeah. And it has to change. And I'll tell you what, if it doesn't change, the Conservative Party has no chance of survival, because I cannot believe in a million years that people who behave in this way, who are more interested in a hedonistic lifestyle, in drinking cheap booze in bars, in having group gay sex sessions in offices, I can't believe that group of people have the ability within them to perform in a way which enables the Conservative Party to survive the onslaught which Reform is going to present to them and the Liberal Democrats. They just don't have it.
And do you think...
Yes. Yes. A former nurse or a doctor worth their salt would know that the Tory party has no interest in the NHS. So why would you vote for them in the first place? And they only view stuff like that as a way of making profit, don't the Tories? They don't view it as a vocation, do they? They only view it as as working in the profession and to do it as a vocation, they just view people like that as suckers and losers, don't they? Woman of the world, my ass as well. She's just a sad, pathetic, lazy crackpot who got the ump when she wasn't made a dame, and then took a bat and ball and went home in a strop, didn't she? And how long did that strop last before she given the good grace to basically fuck off and resign while leaving her constituents in limbo? Absolutely pathetic, isn't she? But yes, unbelievable interview. But what do you guys think? Sorry if I put you sorry if I put dodgy any dodgy visions in your head. I do apologise. But good evening, the legend that is Donkey Dave, the man that everybody wakes up to. Wakey, wakey. If you're not following Donkey Dave, please do. You are missing out on the legend that is. Don't worry about it, Reagan. If you too, it's all right now. It's all right. You do what you need to do, my friend. Because I know somebody who's got a show at 7 o'clock, which we'll all be heading off to join in. So, but anyway, she was spurned. Did I spell that right? Oh dear, Billy. Oh dear. I tried to. Okay, yeah. I tried to telepathically tickle the like button. It didn't work, so slowly stroked instead. Like that like button is a one night wonder. Have you ever thought of being an erotic writer, Stephen Bankier? What? Yeah. Good evening, Pete's Music. I hope you're really, really well. Hope you're fantastic, and hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend. And welcome to my Friday frolic. Yes, just stroke the button, but yes. Sorry for the last few posts, moderators. I was so laughing. Don't worry about it, my friend, because let's be honest, that's what we're here for on a Friday. Long John can't keep up. Yes. Hello, Cathal OJ. Hope you're well, and welcome to my Friday frolic. Yeah. Yes. A really good advert for Prosecco, isn't it? If you didn't do that right. Could have been worse. She could have nicked a phone. Right. But anyway. Let's another one who's been sort of, you could say, has been sort of like another face that we've just seen earlier on. Speaking of another pathetic individual, yes, it's that MP for Clacton, who's so scared of his constituents, he still hasn't set up any surgery there from what I can remember. But to be fair to him, he's a bit of a busy man, isn't he? You know, doing cosplay, wearing wellies, donning a flat cap, and doing his best Farmer Giles impression to protest about paying his fair share of taxes. Yes, it's our Nigel Foghorn of ignorance and our Toad of Turd Hall. And he decided to address his cultists about the issues that are affecting the nation today. Was it about the state of the NHS? Or crumbling schools? Maybe the cost of living crisis? Or maybe rough sleeping that's tugging at his heartstrings? Or, no, my friends, it was something far more serious than that. Get ready.
Big corporate companies. Think Jaguar. Think of the E-Type. Think of the powerful logo on the front of the car of Inspector Morse, of a really great British brand. Well, okay, it may now be owned by the Indians. But have a look at what the modern advertising industry have done. This is the new logo. I don't know what it stands for, do you? And the advert, showing some sort of almost non-human figures walking through a door without even showing cars. I'm not quite sure what they're saying or what they want to do. Strikes me as being another Bud Light moment. I predict Jaguar will now go bust. And do you know what? They deserve to. What is it with the modern advertising industry?
Shut it, Nigel. Tit. But yes, the country has gone to hell in a handcart. But thank you, Nigel, for stopping this great nation from further being kicked in the head by a horse. Unbelievable. And there's us hoping, you know, for better living standards, better public services and better education standards for our children and our grandchildren, when the real issue that really matters is the new Jaguar logo. Thank you, Nigel. See, the thing is, I'd like to know, what has Jaguar got to say for itself?
You all hate our rebrand, but I'm here to reassure you, we have a vision here. We hear you. It looks like a vape brand that only children buy. You said that replacing the Jaguar head with a monogram was like murdering a British icon. We might as well have shot Paddington Bear.
Cut! You're supposed to be reassuring them. Just get to the point. Tell them why this is fine.
I get it. That font looks like it belongs on a pink lemonade flavored condom.
Cut!
And I feel you, commenter who said sales are down 80% from 2017 and you thought that the phrase create exuberant was going to bring them back.
Cut!
Shit looks like if Star Trek was made by Quibi.
Cut!
British cars so bad we gotta make them an American colony.
Cut! Can you just get to the point and reassure our customers?
Okay, so the point is you hate everything you've seen so far, but the good news is we're about to double down. See you in Miami in 2 weeks. You're gonna hate it. You all hate...
Yes. Yes. Oh. Yes. But yes. That's I think that's what you could say. A big fuck you to Nigel, isn't it? Yes. What I find hilariously funny is that isn't Jaguar doing what libertarians like Nigel likes to see them do? Do whatever they like, whenever they like, to make money. Isn't that capitalism, I suppose? I thought people like our Toad of Turd Hall is all about free markets and law regulation and letting the markets run themselves, but clearly, just as long as it just doesn't do, just as long as they don't do something he doesn't like, because he'll make a 40-second video, you know, roar into his cult followers like a big girl's blouse and get all snowflakey about it and clutch his pearls, and he just hopes they do. And when he says that, I hope they go out of business as well. So this working class hero is hoping that people will lose their jobs as well. Proper man of the people there. For me, he's just nothing but a tart. Unbelievable. What do you guys think? Just give me a quick. Yes. Good evening, number 3. Hope you're well. And if you're not subscribed to our good friend number 3, please subscribe. Brilliant channel. But yes, good evening, Mark Telfer. Good evening. I hope you're well. I hope you're very, very well. Yes. Think up the Ra. Did they ask him about the dodgy petition? Yes. he's just asked. Well, yes, of course, he's just asking questions like he always does. Farage, the brand expert, remember the red bus? Yes, exactly. Think that's it, boycotting Jaguar. He's persuaded me. Yes, I totally agree. Wake up and smell the roseberries. I'm persuaded now. I'm not going to go anywhere near buying a Jaguar. Not that I can afford one, but that's beside the point. Ah, yes, a pretty logo. That's more important. Absolutely, my daughter. I totally agree, my lovely daughter. Fire in the sky. Good evening. Travis Walton. Fire. Wake up. Yes. Jaguar has to go eccentric. Jaguar will go bust without the EU. I think you're probably right there. Love the alteration, Steve. I'll cancel my last order as well. Yes. Prescott. Yeah, absolutely, Mark Telfer. Prescott will be spinning in his grave. I wonder if they built his coffin in the shape of a Jaguar. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Well, that'd be going out in style, wouldn't it? That would have been. Yeah. Jaguar spent so much time working on the logo, they forgot the car and got bought. Good evening, Joe. Hope you're welcome. Another one of my fantastic moderators. Hope you're very, very well, and hope you're having a wonderful day and having a wonderful day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Man of the people, man of the moron, to be honest. Totally agree, my lovely daughter. Completely agree. Who does number 3 work for? I mean, who does number 2 work for? Yes. But yes, absolutely. But anyway, let's see if this one works. Let's get down to some more utter nonsense. Remember when the referendum result happened? The pound crashed, and if he's making videos about getting upset about logos, Nigel Farage was grinning as though he'd just had a wet dream, when about being rogered by Putin, as he pointed at a graph of the pound tanking. Remember that picture? Rational people were, pointing out the damage Brexiteers had done. And we were greeted with the shouts of, "You lost, get over it, and respect the will of the people, and why can't you respect democracy?" Well, after 5 Prime Ministers, is it, if I remember rightly, since that day, I think, is it 4 of them were not democratically elected as Prime Ministers? I think, was it Theresa May, Spaffer Johnson, Lettuce Liz, and then our Titchy Small Shoes. If there's any more, let me know in the chat. Well, the only Prime Minister that has been democratically elected, whether you like him or not, it's immaterial. It has to be, as we all know, is the man with all that product in his hair. Yes, our Mr. Lego Man, Keir Starmer. Well, these people are people of principles, clearly, and are accepting the will of the people and respecting democracy. I'm lying. They've had a fit of the vapes, and one of them set up a petition demanding that because he doesn't like this type of democracy, he wants another referendum until he gets the results he like. So we head off to the best independent and doughty defender of truth and holds power to account, I suppose. And they do it without fear nor favour. No, I'm not talking about the Daily Mail or the Telegraph. No, I'm talking about that other doughty defender of truth to power, News Thump. Yes, we're talking about News Thump, where they decided to cover this article where they brought out the news about irony-free Brexiteer who spent 4 years telling people you lost, get over it, enthusiastically promoting a petition for a new general election after 4.5 months. Yes. Yes. Typical. It doesn't go according to plan. But just give me a minute and I will sort this out. So we can all read it together. There we go. We're all sorted. It's not exactly what you call points of view, is it? But you get the picture. A man who spent the best part of half a decade telling anyone who didn't like how things were going that they're lost and should get over it is now rather keen everyone pays attention to his calls for a new general election just 4.5 months after the country democratically chose its new government. Derek Williams, 56, is a big believer in sovereignty and insisted that the Brexit vote would make the UK democratic again, but insists his calls for a do-over on the general election are in no way hypocritical. He told reporters, "Yes, I repeatedly and loudly shouted, 'You lost, get over it,' to everyone who so much as suggested a second referendum on the terms of our Brexit deal. We voted, we won, so they have to accept it even if they don't like it. But this is different because we voted, I lost, and I don't have to accept it because I don't like it. If you can't tell the difference, then you're an idiot." As a number of petition signatories creep upwards towards a number that would still be less than half the number who signed a petition to cancel Article 50, Derek insists it's a sign that the people of the country are fed up and deserve a new general election. He went on, "Yes, I've seen that 19 million people voted against Labour in the general election in July. So yes, technically speaking, if this petition gets fewer than 19 million signatures, the government could argue it is actually more people than it was in July. But that's not the point. The point is that democracy only works when I get my own way. Losing and getting over it is not for the other lot. Yes, it is. Shut up." Yes. Yes. But yes, a man who knows how democracy works. Yes, as the likes of Reform, GBBs, and Nick Ferrari, concrete-loving, Mike Graham, Sky News, and anybody who is on the right of Genghis Khan were wanking over this petition furiously as the numbers kept rising. News Thump, they actually brought in an expert to give expert opinion on this, you could quietly say, dumb fuckery. And let's just say that this is another hilarious article. A new petition calling for Keir Starmer to be replaced as Prime Minister a month after a historic general election victory has been signed by over 2 million morons, it was emerged today. Citing concerns over his indecisive leadership taxing landowners and his refusal to pander to people who throw bricks at police, the dumbest imbeciles in the country are putting their names to a document calling for a new general election. Now, sociologist Simon Williams told us, "It's long been a tradition in this country that dumb people try to hide from the public glare, often choosing to stay silent rather than to confirm suspicions relating to their intellectual failings. But social media appears to have changed this. Suddenly, lots of them from all walks of life are outing themselves by publicly signing the most moronic petition this country has ever seen. And I thought cancelling Article 50 petition was bloody stupid. I mean, he took office 4 months ago. Labour have barely had the chance to do anything, and they're following 14 years of Tory rule. But you think a few weeks in summer and autumn was good enough to run him out of town? It's a surprise these people can get dressed in the morning. Signatory to the petition, Derek Matthews, told us Liz Truss didn't last as long as a lettuce, so I don't see why our two-tier Kia should either. Sure, she almost crashed one of the most developed economies on the planet, and Kia has merely failed to pander to my very specific views on immigrants. But that's not but it's the same thing. And yes, it is. So shut up. You can't beat a bit of news thump. Well, I've got to say, that's me. I'm sold. After this Friday frolic, I'll be heading straight to this position to demand a new general election. But the thing is, if I sign it under the name Toad of Turd Hall, it wouldn't arouse any suspicions, would it? But anyway, let's get myself back all sorted. Because I've got to admit, you've got to love News Thump. One of my favourite pieces to read. You know, when I'm you could say when I'm need a good giggle, and you can't beat News Thump, right? Just bear with me when it comes to. Oh dear. Right, I'm with it now. Just give me a minute to get myself all organised. Right. It's all going to pot now, as you can tell. Story of my life. But just give me a quick minute. See, they're all right, these news thumps. You know, good read, but when you have to move things about, it fucks everything up. Never. These things are here to test us. Right. We're nearly there. There. We're all cooking on gas now. Now, we all recognise this clown. Yes. As I would say, one of these imbeciles who, during the referendum campaign, we all know, it's none other than our Daniel Nobody is talking about leaving the single market, Hannon, who says those who pointed out his nefarious lies at the time should shut up, go away and respect democracy and accept the will of the people. What he has to say is all this nonsense. And yes, as you can see the tweet there, yes, he's there talking. I have signed so many things of which Labour has no mandate. Yes, and no mandate. Farm tax, Shago surrender, woke national curriculum, yeah, whatever that means, national insurance hike, drilling ban, bigger civil service, and 4-day week. Shock! Oh dear! How dare we consider a 4-day working week? Shocking! But yes, this is brilliant.
To repeat, absolutely nobody is talking about threatening our place in the single market.
Yeah, but Daniel was clear through the campaign, this is not a vote to come out of the single market. The extremists now were all saying this was a vote to come out of the single market.
You helped run what former Prime Minister John Major called a deceitful campaign verging on the squalid. Do you recognise your campaign from that description?
Well, obviously not.
The whole galaxy of inaccurate and frankly untrue information. Voters were being misled by a deceitful campaign.
In every campaign, some people have, and no, I don't think I ever did, but some people on both sides used good and bad arguments. But if
you
we
saw
look at
people on Vote Leave using bad arguments,
Of
using
course, inevitably.
misleading,
Look, the whole country was
misleading
involved.
arguments.
The whole country was involved.
I, Daniel, Lord Hannon of Kingsclear, do swear by Almighty God that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, her heirs and...
To repeat, absolutely nobody is talking about threatening our place in the single market.
Yeah, but
I've just realised, yes, what a tit. I made the fatal mistake of blowing my nose, and the last thing you want to hear me is just absolutely just splurging all over the mic with my snot. So I do apologise. What an idiot. I will get a hang of this this live stream in one of these days. But as usual, I always muck it up. But like as I said, you know, as I said earlier, yes, you just couldn't make this up, really. You know, he's demanded for a long time, you know, those exposing the damage that Brexit has caused. We should just shut up and get over it, respect democracy and accept the will of the people. But now that the will of the people has voted for a government that he doesn't like, his self-entitled attitude demands that we should basically have another general election or more general elections, or as many general elections as possible, until people like himself get the election result that he likes, because I get the feeling to him that's how democracy works. Here's my thought, Daniel. Nobody's talking about leaving the single market. Hannon, I think you lost. Get over it. Respect democracy and, accept the will of the people. But yes, I just heard my daughter telling me off in the other room. Telling me off in the room. Oh, Dad, you idiot. You are shouting into the ether. Nobody can hear you, you complete moron. You utter cretin. But never mind. Well, as I say, good evening, Frederick Roth III. Hope you're very, very well. Hope you're very well. Yeah, exactly, Donkey Dave. I wish I could learn sign language. Yeah. I can imagine there being a few sign languages at the screen watching this. You'll be going, DB, you fucking moron. You'd have been doing all that, won't you? I think you're not the only one who's gone deaf. Yeah, that'll be me, Reagan Elite, because I'm an idiot. This is the reason why you're a professional and I'm a complete idiot. Yes. Yeah. I know. I've just worked it out. Wake up and smell the roseberries. Yes. Everybody's telling me off now. Telling me off and and good evening, Spank the Monkey. Hope you're well. Hope you're very, very well, and hopefully you didn't see me make the horrendous fuck up of talking to myself while the mic was off like a complete idiot that I am. But never mind. Exactly, as like technical blunders, and I do make a fair few of them. But anyway, let's who's up for a bit of mastery in making those who should never have been anywhere near the corridors of power look like the morons that they clearly are? Well, let's watch the legend that is Steve Bray. Remember the one, Steve Bray with the PR, with PA. That's it. Outside House of Commons. With the Benny Hill music blaring out. Well, he bumps into our laughing boy. The former Chancellor. That is Kamikaze Kwarteng. And let's just say, take it away, Steve Bray. This is just brilliant. Take no prisoners as well.
How's it going, Mr. Kwarteng? Hang on, let me stop this trap. Oh, lost your seat. Lost your job. I'm self-employed, Mr. Kwarteng. I'm sorry, but I have to rub it in. What are you doing these days? Come on, Mr. Kwarteng. You've really fucked our country. What are you doing now? You really have messed up millions of lives. And I really think you owe people an apology. Mr. Kwarteng, are you going to apologise? Are you going to apologise for the mess you have made? Your budget, right? Your budget was a joke. You've destroyed millions of lives. Future generations. Anyway, you have a good evening, Mr. Kwarteng. Because we certainly will.
Genius, this bit.
Kwasi Kwarteng, Chief Clown.
Absolutely. All I can say is keep rubbing it in, Steve. I don't have a problem with that. Just keep rubbing it in. Also, I totally agree with what he said at the end, calling him Chief Clown. You can also see his utter arrogance. You could tell when he basically asked Stephen Bray, what job do you do, so to speak? Trying to think he's got a bit of a gotcha. No. Well, the thing is, when I watch it, is you can guarantee there'll be one or two people, who getting upset, and you know, and I understand they're upset. You know, why is he harassing him on the street? But as Steve Bray said, he destroyed a lot of people's hopes and dreams, whether it be owning homes, and I don't think, and from what I could gather, pensions didn't escape either. So, and the thing is, also, if I remember rightly, just like his boss, our lettuce Liz, they both take no responsibility, do they? So, in my mind, fuck him. Anyway. Absolutely. So I take it you did hear it, Spank the Monkey, never mind. Yeah, absolutely, Frederick, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Steve Bray, you're right, Reagan, he's amazing, he's brilliant. Takes no prisoners, did he? He is no quarter given, he's not going to give you anything. If as far as he's concerned, if you're an absolute twat, he'll give you both barrels, and quite rightly. He always gets them running. He certainly does. I've never seen our kamikaze Kwarteng run so fast. Yes, I totally agree. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, Chief Clown, spot on. And Wake Up's, yeah, totally agree. Wake Up and Smell the Rosemary's. Yes, the hero. He is an absolute hero. He's brilliant. And Spank the Monkey, there's a Corey Tunt. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, Frederick Roth, the typical Tory, you know. Yes, absolutely. Spot on, Alistair Kay. Yes. Steve Bray, Alistair's put Steve Bray's channel in the chat if you want to follow. Yeah, Billy Kershaw, yes. Straight to the point. He's a thief. Totally and utterly agree. But anyway, let's have a little bit of more fun as we head off to what you could say a bit of PMQs. It's only a little bit, so you only have to listen to a little bit. On Wednesday, as I say, it was PMQs, and our leader of the opposition, Kemi Badenough, tried a dab hand at stand-up comedy by trying biscuit puns to describe this Labour government. And in the Friday Frolic, we've got an exclusive interview. We managed to get the man who helped her with her puns. Take it away. This is punning genius.
While the Prime Minister has been hobnobbing in Brazil, businesses have been struggling to digest his budget. It is not only the ginger nut that is causing him problems.
The proper way for this opposition to hold the government to account: biscuit puns. So, look at it. What do they make? Hobnobs. Wherever he's been recently. Brazil? Great. Hobnobbing in Brazil. That one's almost written itself. That easy start made it feel like it was going to be easy. It's sort of immediately become difficult, isn't it? It's going to be tough to beat hobnobbing. Well, Digestive's obviously the ultimate flagship. How are we going to get Digestive into PMQs? We could say the business is having sort of like digestive issues trying to swallow his policies. To digest his policies? Half a pun is basically that's fine. Huh? Yeah, Angela Rayner is ginger. Yeah. Well, I was thinking, hey, you know this policy, do you make a ginger do it? Huh? No, we can't call her a Jaffa cake because Jaffa cakes aren't biscuits, they're f***ing cakes. Get her out. Sorry, but there was a whole court case. You want to call Angela Rayner a ginger nut? Is that fine? I think that's fine. Is there anyone in the Labour Party with a receding hairline who's called Gary who we could call a baldy? It's not even McVitie's at this stage. This Labour Party rings of deception. No. Prime Minister's been dunked in, he's in hot water, and we think he's crumbling. That's actually quite good. Prime Minister, that was a bit rich. Tea, biscuits. The Prime Minister has left pensioners out in the gold. No, it sounds too positive. We could say that he was very lucky and he's avoided quite a lot of scrutiny. He's a jammy dodger. No, I hate that too, actually. I've given myself the ick there. Send off the ones we've got and Kenny will do that, and that'll be great. Well done, everybody. Great work. It's good to stand up for something, actually, because I really think that Keir Starmer is taking the piss. Biscuit! Oh, how did we miss that one? Oh, crumbs.
All I'm going to say is, don't give up your day job, Kemi. Stick to politics. Well, maybe not then, I suppose, but clearly the ginger nut jibe was clearly pointed at our Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner. Well, our Angela Raver didn't take it lying down. And all I'm going to say is, go get her, Nareen.
Alright, it's me, Ange Raver. Now, I'm just on the loo, having a little think, right? And obviously, I just want to put some things out there to clear the air, because there's a lot of speculation about yesterday at PMQs. Now, this is a message, right, for Kemi Badenoch. Who do you think you are? Who do you actually think you are yesterday, right? You actually called me a ginger nut. Now, that is not alright. That is not okay. Anyone that knows me, anyone that knows me at all, right, they know that I'm a chocolate hobnob, right? It's obvious. I'm smooth on the outside and I'm rough as old boots on the inside. Now, that's just obvious, right? Get your textures right. Kemi, who do you think you are? Who do you actually think you are? Know who you're messing with? And also, right, you had to go at me, right? You had to go at me because you said that I wasn't at PMQs. Do you know where I actually was? Do you know where I was yesterday, right? Where I still am right now? Rome. I'm in Rome meeting the Pope with the hat and everything, the actual Pope of Rome. And can I just say, right, the Pope did ask me out for a date. That's right, and I'm going to go out with him next week, yeah? He said he knows some right good Italians, yeah? And also a proper good DJ. So obviously I'm going to go. I mean, when in Rome, you know, got to do as the Egyptians do, right? So just want to point it out. Don't you ever, right, ever think that I'm not working, because I'm working hard right now, all right? I'm going to go out for a party in a minute, so don't say that. You want to take it outside, do you? Do you think you're bad enough? Do you think you're bad enough, Kemi? Right, bring it on, love, all right? Don't mess with Ange. Over and out.
Well, where else is she going? Where else is she going to do a reply? Well, obviously the most northern way on the shitter, isn't she? Also, she wasn't kidding about the hot dinner date as well, because that's a bit of a I've mucked up. I had a picture of her with the Pope having a dinner date. Oh, that's naffed everything up. I try to do everything right, but, you know, there was a grand picture of her, you know, having this hot dinner date with the Pope. You know, she's going down, you can imagine the meeting, and you're going, hey up, cock, do you come here often? And is that a papal tiara in your pocket, or you just pleased to see me, stud? I can imagine the date going, you've got to watch us redheads because we're quite feisty and fiery, Pope. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, well, I didn't bookmark the picture. That's what went wrong. What an idiot I am. Yeah, that shows you what a complete clown I am. Oh, but never. Yes. For a cracket music track, biscuit themed, check out on the 7th day. Blabbermouth, excellent. Enough bass to wake up in Barcelona again. Yes. Noreen Skinner, she's just brilliant, and she's just absolute class. Yeah, exactly. Spank the boogie and Raver, who are you? Who are you? Not to mention for the savoury biscuit cream crackers. A ginger got me to Barcelona. Yeah, she's brilliant, absolutely. Noreen, she's brilliant, spot on. Stone Roses sorted. Angela would mop the floor with bad enough. Well, I've seen her a few times, you know, when it comes to the housing, as housing minister, she didn't take her seriously. Practices her racist rants in mirror when she wakes up. Yeah, absolutely. Have an Eccles cake. Okay, yes, smash. Yes, absolutely linked to that. Has anyone touched the like button? Come on, it's feeling lonely. Yes, people say I should mention it as often as I possibly can, but I'm just a terrible shill. But anyway, that's enough of the that's enough of the utter nonsense what's happening over here. But let's have a little look at the utter nonsense that's happening, I suppose, across the pond. Now, here's a very interesting video where this young lady has something that's, I would say, is very, very interesting. And it's well worth a watch because I just thought she was brilliant.
Everyone needs to stop and listen to this video. Whether you're MAGA or whether you're a Democrat, it's going to give us a lot of answers. I oftentimes ask MAGA on my lives, is there anything Donald Trump could do to lose your support? And if you're MAGA, I want you to think about that question. Oftentimes the answer is nothing, or unalive somebody, or a video of him actually graping somebody, but then maybe not because it could be AI. What I'm about to tell you probably won't hit if you're MAGA, but I'm hoping it does. I saw this on another creator's page, but 39 years ago, a KGB defector predicted modern America. Russia has had a long-term goal of ideologically subverting the U.S. The first stage is called demoralization, which would take about 20 years to achieve. We're there. This has been the Soviet plan all along to undermine the U.S., not in the battlefield, but in the psyche of the American public. So what it basically means is to change the perception of reality to every American to the extent that despite the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their family, their community, and their country. This should be hitting you hard right now. They are programmed to think and react to small stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind. Even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black, you still cannot change their basic perception and their logic of behavior. Therapists have been screaming at the top of their lungs that this is what we're going through. A person who is demoralized is unable to access true information. The facts tell them nothing. Even if I showed them information with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if you take them to a concentration camp, they will refuse to believe it until it hits them.
Now, when she said that, for me, I found that very, very interesting. It's like, remember when Trump's, you could say, dumb fuckery started to affect them when he was doing stuff that affect. You know, like, remember when the COVID hit, you know, that's when it affected them. They weren't happy with it. You know, they were far more happy when doing stuff that affected, you know, people like immigrants and Muslims, like the Muslim ban and stuff like that. And those in the LGBTQ community they were completely fine with that. But when his actions and fuck-ups were making their lives difficult, then it's totally different in their eyes, isn't it?
Until literally they're the ones who are impacted. That is demoralization. That is where we're at right now. It goes on to say the next stage is destabilization. This is what we're fearing with the Donald Trump presidency. It's basically targeting our structural elements like the economy, our foreign relations, and defense systems. Think about us removing ourselves from NATO, extreme nationalism, isolation. Elon has even said that our country under Donald Trump's plan is probably in for some economic pain, but it'll be worth it on the other side. What's the other side? Well, first of all, you have a crisis that would only be about 6 weeks, and the last stage is normalization. That's where your country is basically taken over, living under a new ideology and reality. And I don't know how we stop it at this point. People are failing to understand the impending danger of this development, and nothing can happen. We can kiss our freedom goodbye. You guys think that we've been living in peacetime with Russia, when in fact they've been attacking us with disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda for decades. It's so bad that even Republicans, 40%, didn't mind if Russia interfered with our elections. And I don't know what to do. Like, I guess this is why so many of us have been saying this is the FAFO stage, because until it literally hits them, they're not going to be able to snap out of it. We've been on this app for years trying to educate, show proof, and now we know why none of it works. Interestingly enough, when they started this psychological warfare against us, it was targeted at Democrats and boomers. And what we've been noticing through the last few decades is a party switch, right? Those hardworking Americans that used to be Democrats have shifted over to the Republican side based on this propaganda and ideology. And the more educated people that were Republicans, including myself, have shifted over to the Democrat Party. And now that makes sense to me.
See, the thing is, I found that a little bit interesting. You know, hardworking Democrats now switched to the Republicans, and educated Republicans have switched to the Democrats. And for me, that's not the first time I've heard that. So I found that little bit of a conversation very, very interesting. It's quite scary, isn't it?
I was trying to figure it out, but poof. I mean, particularly weak-minded people, uneducated people, Christians would be a great target as they already subscribe to a certain sort of ideology and are easy to manipulate. And honestly, that's not meant to be an insult. It's just where we are right now. And so using this information, how do we proceed when it doesn't matter if they watch January 6th on television, watch people take flagpoles and beat down police? A jury finds our president to have sexually assaulted a woman. He has felony counts. We literally hear his rhetoric and how dangerous it is. But now we know it doesn't matter what we say. It's not going to change their perception or their reality. And what really concerns me is Donald Trump's relationship with Putin and how easy it is to manipulate him. He owes Russia. We potentially have like Russian sympathizers in charge of our national intelligence. And unfortunately, MAGA, if you stayed to the end, it wouldn't matter what I showed you. You wouldn't believe it anyway. And I don't know where we go from here.
Pretty desperate, isn't it? And I think she's bang on the money when it comes to trying to understand MAGA or trying to reason with people who are so far down the rabbit hole, you know, of conspiracy theories. They're so bad shit. Where do you go from there? And I remember when I first watched her video, I was just quite mesmerized. I thought that is just, it was just a stop and watch moment for me. It was just quite illuminating. I was going to get the link. I think she's a woman called, she might be, her name is Leslie Jones. I think she's on Blue Sky, judging by what I see on the tick. Is it showing on there? No, it ain't really. See if I can. Leslie Jones, that's where I got it from. So, but she's very, very good. Yeah. I heard an economist comparing tariffs as a person surrounded by people that starts to pee in swimming pool and the others pee back, and since the first peer is in the centre, he gets most of it. That's quite a decent analogy, really. Is it Jones? A Thompson in the chat? I don't know. I've not noticed. But if he is, well, welcome to my Friday Frolic. In case he is, and if you're not subscribed to his channel, should do, because very, very good at what he does. But imagine being able to see and still be blind. That's a great line, really, isn't it? You know, I'm not sure that it's all Russia. You very much possibly could be right there, number 3. Depression approaching. Yeah, very much so. They are Republicans, Republicans. Get the teeth in for it rather than, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Dixiecrats. First said if FO if is that what called is it fuck about find out, if I remember rightly? First I heard Mike Family use that term. Yes, I've heard it a few times, yeah. So, but agreeing with some people in chat, the US created most of the demons it has. Blaming others is an easy answer to hard questions. Yeah, yeah. I think there is a lot in that, yeah. Okay, I know what bullshit is and I call it out. March, march, march across the square. Do all the things you wouldn't dare. Not my words, but yes. Yeah, yeah. What about the interference of the space oligarch? Yes, our very own space Karen. Yes. Yeah, China and North Korea. Yes. Is it Miss for Change? That's her name. I missed, and then in her name. All right. Cheers for that, Alistair. Yeah. Oh no, what is Reagan late? I will probably be heading over to watch what you're up to in a bit. But so no problems, no worries. And thanks for stopping by. And don't follow how I do live streams, because it's liable to go downhill, because I'm rubbish at them. I do my best, but don't try and emulate me. But I just found what she had to say interesting and quite eye-opening. But also, when she talks about at the end, when she talks about these people who are, you know, who shouldn't be in power, it is quite scary. And this interesting little clip where it's, you could say it's, you could say just proving what these ladies are saying about in this minute video about how bad the situation really is when it comes to these people who are now in the corridors of power. And this guy, what he says is very, very interesting.
I mean, what the hell is going on here? And their cabinet picks so far, I mean, these are like beyond insane. Someone who is credibly accused of having sex with an underage girl. Someone who sucks up to foreign dictators and has attracted major concern that they can't be trusted to protect America's secrets from our adversaries. Someone who paid hush money to cover up a sexual assault accusation, you know, to lead our military. He's picked because Donald Trump likes him on Fox News. Someone who says that tap water turns kids gay. I mean, this is the dream team? This is the dream team? Really? I mean, seriously, it would be funny if it weren't so sad.
I can't disagree with that, you know. It's not wrong, is it? It's just absolutely insane. So, if this is the dream team, what could possibly go wrong? Also, what could possibly go wrong at doors now that these three clowns are running it? Now, this is the genius that is Maggie Reed. I've done a couple of her videos, and she's just an absolute genius, she is. And let's just say she's brilliant. She's playing the part of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and what she does is just genius.
Hey, Elon, Vivek. Looks like I'm gonna be the new House Subcommittee Chair for Doge. We're gonna be spending a lot of time together.
That's insane.
I know, right? We're gonna be the new power throuple for the United States government.
Yeah.
Well, first things first. Which one of you can explain to me what is Doge?
The Department of Government Efficiency.
We do essential work for the government.
It's about efficiency.
We do useful, essential work.
Well, I can tell you boys have it all figured out. It's nice to see politicians that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
Elon and I, we're not politicians. We're businessmen. We're coming at it from the outside.
Oh, you like to come at it from the outside? I'm something of an outsider myself.
But there's something deeper going on here.
I think you might be right. How much deeper do you guys want to get?
In the deep end.
We will lay the groundwork.
Yeah, right, fucking butt.
Actions are going to speak louder than words. Pull those regs back.
Well, okay then. Are you ready to Doge with MTG?
Yes, absolutely.
All in.
Good. Let's get into it.
Dirty little secret right now.
I'm like, it's all in, baby.
This is what I call government efficiency.
Get it.
Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Yes.
That's the legend that is Maggie Reid. So, yes. Now, when you look at it with Doge, what a threesome, a marriage made in hell there. I think we all know what the Department of Government Efficiency really means for Musk and people like his ilk. It means the rich and powerful just get even richer and fuck over those who not only voted for this, but also those who didn't vote for this as well. And no doubt the Department of Education will be absolutely gutted, and won't they? Because, as Trump said, I love the poorly educated. And that's his. Those are his fans, you know. Well, there's two types of fans of him, you know. Those who want tax cuts and those who want to be entertained. And if you want to know who you are, just check your wallet. But yeah, this brilliant young lady, Maggie Reid, not only hilariously brilliant, and she's just really funny and fantastically intelligent at what she does, and a good all-round egg. So if you're still in the cesspool that is Twitter, give her a follow and show her some love as well, my friends, because she's just absolutely brilliant. But anyway, we're at the end now. We're nearly at the end. Yes. Yes, absolutely, totally agree. But we're nearly at the end. As what would a show be without the legends that are broken news? And you know, the old saying goes, whatever direction the yeehaws, you know, the dingling states in America goes, we're usually not far off, maybe about 5 years behind. There must be some truth in here, because according to that trusted news source, Broken News, that party fighting for the best interests of the downtrodden, working class, you know, lovers of domestic violence as well, rich tax dodgers, dictators, wannabe dictators, and adjudicated rapists and open racists, you know, the Reform Party, have scored a massive win in their determination to get their country back.
Welcome to Broken News. A win for campaigners, as those who have repeatedly said they just want their country back are to finally get it. As of midnight on December the 31st, new laws will come into force that will reset the UK to the 1st of January 1970. Our reporter is on hand to tell us what to expect.
PE teachers and priests who are almost certainly pedos, wolf whistling at big-titted birds, overt racism, sitcoms where the gay characters are written as big mincers who want to bomb anything that moves, and cars that have all the structural integrity of a big egg. Just some of the things returning to Britain after much campaigning by pink-cheeked, thick-necked twats. This government pamphlet explains all the changes. The information can't be emailed or put on social media because the entire UK internet is in the process of being shut down. There'll be just one TV channel playing only the black and white minstrel show. Vegetables will be boiled until they taste like farts, and there'll be 3 types of beer available: warm, shit, and warm and shit. Smallpox will make a comeback along with TB and tetanus, and it won't just be diseases having an impact on your physical health. Teachers will be allowed to beat you in the week, your dad will beat you on a Saturday, and a priest will beat you off on Sundays. Wallpaper will only be available with big, massive flowers on it or weird geometric patterns that induce migraines, and the only paints available at Do It All will be government-issued brown, orange and avocado, the colours of the new Union flag. It's also been confirmed that everyone will be smoking everywhere all the time. Professional sports people will have to play in their underpants if they forget their kit, and the rules of football will change to allow angry little Scottish midfielders to break more legs. Some things won't change. No dentist appointments will be available. Police will beat 7 shades of shit out of anyone caught protesting, and right-wing fascists will have disproportionate influence on national political discourse. Back to you.
What a lovely story. That's all from Broken News. You sleep tight, sugar tits. I'll be up in a bit. Oi! What have I told you kids? Why are you in fucking bed? Fucking twats.
Little twats. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yes, so after December the 31st, these live streams will have to be done by maybe letter and black and white photos. Anyone late or miss out on the 2 Davies mailing stream, what's will it be now, will not only have to spend the week stood on 1 foot on the naughty step and hands on their head, they have to do 100 lines as well in their jot or two, and none of this this nonsense of I must do better next time, all in vertical lines, because if you do, you will feel the wrath of one of David McGuinness's legendary rants by either destroying your ear by phone if he has your number or by letter. And if you miss any of mine, I don't blame you. Because I'm an amateur while the 2 Davies, Reagan Elite, Max, Graham, Phil, Marcus, One Angry Pagan, Number 3, and any other fantastic content creators that I forgot to mention, and if I have, and you're in the audience, please forgive me, because you guys are pros. I'm just an amateur, so I'll let you off. But anyway, as I say, we've come to the end of this week's Friday Frolic. I just want to say thanks for stopping by, and if you've stayed till the end, thank you. And also, please give a massive thumbs up to my moderators, the fantastic Mad Monk, Alistair and Jow, because without their hard work, and brilliant, and it is brilliant hard work what they do, and keeping the chat not only pleasurable for everything, but we try to make it as, you know, as inclusive as well. For that, and for that, I'm eternally grateful for them. So please give my moderators a massive round of applause. Mad Monk, Alistair, Jow, thank you, my friends. I really appreciate everything you do for my channel and my live streams. Really, really do appreciate it. So a big round of applause for my moderators. You've been absolutely brilliant as always. But anyway, before we enter the 70s in a month or so time, and we've apparently got our country back. I will hopefully see you next week for another brilliant Friday Frolic. Have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully see you in any other live streams tonight. So until then, take care, my friends, and see you Monday, and bye for now. Take care, my friends.